The Order of the Knights Templar was an international religious and military order that grew out of the Christian chivalry of the Middle Ages. It was created on January 13th, 1129, from a militia called the Poor Knights of Christ in the Temple of Solomon. It worked during the 12th and 13th century to accompany and protect pilgrims to Jerusalem in the context of the Holy War and the Crusades. After the loss of the Holy Land, he was a victim of the struggle between the papacy and the French monarchy and was dissolved by the Pope on 22 March 1312 in a heresy, a trial oath of the Knights Templar rule of life, a non dubes, non nubes domin, a non dubes, a sed nomi. And again, a model of a Templar order of the Knights Templar did not act for glory but in the name of the Lord, and thus the merit of their actions belonged to Him alone. In the name of the Holy, Most Holy, a blessed and glorious Trinity, and in the presence of the Knights here assembled hereby and hereby, I most solemnly promise and swear never to reveal the secrets of the Knight of the Temple to anyone who has not received that rank, except to a candidate for it within legitimate preceptory of Knights of the Temple, and only when I am fulfilling the duties of a regularly installed tutor, I further solemnly promise that I will faithfully maintain and defend the holy Christian faith against all unprovoked attacks by its enemies, that I will not even in anger shed the blood of a Temple Knight, unless it is for a just war between sovereign countries or princes. But on the contrary, I'll defend him even at the risk of my life. I'll defend him even at the risk of my life forever, wherever and whenever his life or honor may be in danger, that I will protect to the best of my ability the closest and dearest relatives and friends of any Temple Knight, and will avoid, if possible, any harm, danger, or violence to which they may be exposed. Finally, I most sincerely promise to obey the highest authorities of the country where I reside or may reside, to strictly observe and maintain the old regulations and laws of the order, as well as the statutes of the Grand Priory of France, and to answer and obey as far as I am able, willing and able, the summons that will be sent to me. I swear to respect all these points faithfully, hesitation, mental restriction of faults, evasion of any kind. May Christ help me and arm me with the firmness to fulfill this solemn obligation. I swear to devote my speeches, my weapons, my strength, and my life to defense of the mysteries of the faith and the defense of the unity of God. I also promise to be submissive and obedient to the Grand Master of the Order. Whenever it is necessary, I will cross the seas to go to battle. I'll give help against the unfaithful kings and princes, and in the presence of the free enemies, I will not flee, but I will fight them alone. They are not unfaithful. Throughout the centuries, the Knights Templar has chosen the model of the Order of the historic Temple, thus affirming their attachment to the presence of the eternal divine. Yesterday's knight was a Catholic, and he fought to defend the holy places in the fight against the dark forces, of which Saint Bernard de Clairvaux speaks. The Knights Templar, live without having anything of their own, not even their own will, simply dressed and covered in dust. Their faces are burnt by the sun, their eyes are proud and stern. As the battle approaches, they arm themselves with faith inside and iron outside. Their weapons are their only adornment. They use them with the greatest courage and peril, without fearing either the number or restraint of the barbarians. All their trust is in the God of armies, and fighting for this cause. For his cause they seek a certain victory or a holy and glorious death. The Knight of Christ gets death safely and receives it. Even greater assurance, if he dies, it is for his own good. If he kills, it is for Christ. Thus spoke Bernard de Clairvaux. Invested with a mission, the Templars went to the end of their devotion, death no longer being an obstacle, but a deep sense of their commitment. The struggle led by today's Knight is that of the clear consciousness of the spirit and of the great humanitarian principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity, without which no human group can truly progress. He enriches them with spirituality and does not forget that the Knights Templar were Catholic warrior monks. He is first and foremost a defender of Christianity and does not forget that the Knights of the Templar Order gave their life so that this Christian ideal will endure through the centuries. Today's knight continues to pledge allegiance to his presence outside human space-time, to whom religions have given various names in an attempt to describe his power and glory, great architect of the universe, whose order, unity, intelligence, force, are stronger than all forces of the alchemists of life and the children of knowledge, God singular and or plural, whatever his name is, this glorious, eminent, and transcendent present that the Knight Templar recognizes. Even today, as in the past, every knight performs his acts and the name of the sacred and the full awareness of being a simple servant of the higher principles that the recognition of this presence induces in his name. He carries the sword of light. The motto of the Knights Templar expresses the dual identity of the Catholic warrior monks and the men and venom of opus, its fortresses with powerful and efficient architecture, such as Mount Tabar. I have left a lasting mark in the landscape of Palestine. Nowadays, it is possible to proudly represent an order of the Knights Templar by carrying the motto of the Knights. I'll always protect my Christian brothers and sisters against Muslims and other non-Christians. Do as will always. Whether we are a formal Knight Templar or not, we can still be a modern day Knights of God. What is a knight? A knight is one who stands, if necessary, alone for what is right, to protect the defenseless, to defend the innocent, to be like John the Baptist, and be that voice calling out in the wilderness. Against that which is wrong, we are to stand for what is right and against what is wrong. And if in that course of performing our duties as a man, and yes, women can also be knights, we pay the final price. We know it was better to die on our feet than to live on our knees. It's better to live on our feet. Better to die on our feet than live on our knees. I choose death. The Lord is honor. I am a knight and pledge my soul to protect against all known and unknown evil. All known and unknown evil. All unknown and unknown. All known and unknown evil. Again, evil couldn't evil. Again, the motto of the Templar Order, the Knights Templar, did not act for glory, but in the name of the Lord, unless the merit of their actions belongs to Him alone. In the name of the most holy, blessed, and glorious Trinity, in the presence of the Knights here assembled hereby, I must most solemnly promise and swear never to reveal the secrets of the Knights of the Temple. Knights of the Temple. There's a spitting again inside of my head. Voices begin. What must be wrong in my head? Voices begin again and again. If you wanted to know everything about the Templars, then you've come to the right place. Again. Who were the Knights Templar? Who were the Knights Templar? Were there several different orders among the Templars? Let's try to understand more specifically why the Templar Order was created. The Crusader era was one of the most troubled periods in history. Several European kingdoms came together to defend the Christian faith, and they reconquered Jerusalem, which was under the rule of a Muslim caliphate, and their suspended weight goes today. Many men coming from various social classes left their homes and families in order to respond to a request of the Catholic churches. They went on pilgrimage to the Holy Land. These men dreamed of knowing the lands over which they had heard incredible stories and preaching in masses. Some were looking for wealthiness and opportunity to receive noble titles. Some were already descendants of noble lineages. These belonged to the most devastating force on the medieval battlefields, the cavalry, to protect their social status and their own interest. Several cavalry cavalry orders were created. Cavalry orders were composed of members who shared the same interests and ideals. Those orders had specific functions on the battlefields. The battlefields. I'm forever spitting. I'm forever freestyling the Knights of Templar. I'm forever freestyling facts of the Knights of Templar.